Good afternoon and welcome to a beautiful winter's day in the nation's capital. We're live from Deakin Stadium. It's top of the table, Canberra Croatia up against Gungahlin United, who are now bottom of the pile after Gungahlin got their point last night. So it's first versus eighth, top versus bottom. It's live in the National Premier League from Canberra. My name's Russ Gibbs. Steve Forshaw is alongside me. Steve, first of all, welcome. How you been?
Really good, thanks, Russ. Lovely day to be here. Bright sunshine, lovely pitch, good football in store. Where else would you like to be?
On paper, at least, first versus last, it would be something of a mismatch normally. First big news that we've got, team-wise, no Jack Green for Gungahlin United. He's injured. Bailey Dickinson suspended.
And Josh Gaspari's having moved
And Josh
on.
Gaspari's gone to Juventus, yeah.
So it's a very much different-looking Gungahlin United side. I thought they were quite competitive against Tigers last week. Might have actually got something out of the game. But Gaspari's a big miss. Dickinson, you know, these lads are hard to replace. Jack Green didn't play last week, so they're not going to miss him this week as a result. But that level of experience when your side is reduced to playing the younger side. They do have some players that they brought in from overseas. Maybe that will be the difference for them today.
Two Japanese imports, a French striker and a debut for a Samoan youth international in AJ Malalaulu from Canberra, but has been playing, actually used to be part of the Canberra Croatia setup. AJ Malalaulu, and he will play for Gungahlin United on debut in the Premier League today.
Congratulations to him, but that is a name, Russ, that you will pronounce by yourself.
I think you could call him AJ, which is fine.
I'm going with AJ.
Yeah, I was told it is Malalaulu. I tried to get it right if I can. Apologise if it's not quite spot on. We will see a lot more of him over the years, so we will get there eventually. Yesterday, O'Connor Knights 2, Queanbeyan City 3 at High Street. City were 3-0 to the good by half-time. O'Connor came back into it with a couple of late ones, but a good result for Queanbeyan City.
Great result. I mean, they obviously have done it tough since the cup final, where they've had to play Canberra Croatia again and just went down in another combative performance. But yesterday they were really good for the 3 points. They went 3-0 up and looked really comfortable until those late goals. So, you know, they've consolidated their position. They've got a little bit to go yet before they can say they're comfortable, but I think they can start looking up the table rather than be what's happening behind them.
And they scored 3 times without Nico Abbots, which was much of a surprise. He's generally their goal king, but they showed that they can do without him. I'm sure they don't want to for as long as they can, but Abdurrahim Dalahi scored a cracking header and led the line really well.
Yeah, it was a nice header. Nice move. But they took the goals well. I mean, O'Connor Knights will be a little disappointed about the way they defended certainly the first goal. But, you know, Queanbeyan busy. They're doing it without Abbott, as you suggest. Their midfield's very energetic and enthusiastic, and they've got themselves a decent 3 points yesterday.
Strider Park in the evening. Monero Panthers rescued by the skin of their teeth. Skipper Dylan Deep-Jones scored in the 94th minute with a header to get them a 1-1 draw against the Gungahlin side, who led through an absolute scorcher from Mason Donadell. One of the best goals we've seen all season. Chances at both ends. Marco DePaoli made a cracking save from a Stephen Dominici header. Danny Reid might have made it 2-0 towards the end when Heath Illich palmed one over the crossbar. In the end, 1-1 is possibly a fair result, but doesn't do either a huge amount of help, does it, in terms of Gungahlin wanting to push for the 4, or indeed Monero Panthers trying to close the gap on this team in front of us.
Heartbreaking for Gungahlin to concede so late, but to be fair, Monero dominated the game and probably deserved something out of it. It would have been a harsh critic that would suggest that they were outplayed by Gungahlin. That wasn't the case at all. But when you get to the 94th, 95th minute and you're still in front, you're thinking about the 3 points, not sharing them.
And I was looking further back at that yesterday, and there was that opportunity for Josh De Rossi at 1-0 for Gungahlin when he was in on goal, and Heath Illich made a good save, had a couple of players square of him as well. May have been, the angle might have been cut off by Deep Jones covering, but moments like that could have been 2-0, could have been game over.
And that makes a big difference. If you make the wrong decision at the wrong time, then it can be very costly. I mean, we're often criticise goalkeepers for making a mistake and it costs a goal, but at the other end, they can be just as costly, those mistakes. And picking the right option at the right time is a skill in itself.
NU4, Wagga City Wanderers 1 in the Capital Premier League yesterday. Jack Gibson scored yet again. Oliver Grist got one, and then he said, "Please, sir, can I have some more?" And he got a second towards the end.
That's terrible.
I know. Brindabella Blues 2, Canberra White Eagles 3. Sergio Lindner with a brace for the Eagles. Bit of a surprise, that result, perhaps. Dustin Wells rolled back the years. Belcon United 4, West Canberra Wanderers 1. A hat-trick for Dustin Wells. Regan Walsh's free kick opening the scoring. The result of the day, though, of course, was the match at Ainsley Oval when Canberra Juventus, with their expensively assembled cast of NPL players, they thrashed Canberra Olympic by 6-1. Adrian McCaw got off the mark for the season and helped himself to a hat-trick yesterday. He doesn't score very often. There was goals for Joshua Gaspari and Michael Adams as well on debut. Tony Madafari came off the bench to net as well. Anthony Timotheo had scored in the 3rd minute to make it 1 apiece straight after Adrian McCaw's first goal. Send-offs in those games, well, it's a bit tricky to suggest. Luca McCall got sent off for Juve. Now, according to Dribble, according to the referee, Julian Borgner and Mate Barisic were sent off for Canberra Olympic. However, I am told that for all intents and purposes, it was Luca Flores that got the red card. But the shirt numbers were perhaps different, and Borgner's got the red. Now, no doubt that will probably change at some stage, I would imagine. Someone's got to serve the ban.
Well, I can imagine Julian Borgner won't be putting his hand up to serve the ban.
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
But, the information I have, it was Luca Flores that got sent off. I checked it with a couple of people that were at the game, and they said it was Flores.
He'll come out in the wash, I'm sure, no problem. Yeah. But how good were Juventus in a 6-1 win? They have got some really good players there that they've brought in from NPL. Yeah. They're really putting their eggs into this basket to try and get themselves up into the Premier League. They are 5 points off of 3rd place at the moment, behind ANU, who've only lost once all season. And there's games running out as well. So it's going to be a really good watch in that league to see whether or not they can reel them in. Yeah,
and look, they can. I mean, Olympic and ANU play each other this weekend. So if that goes against ANU, then, the gap is down to 2 points, providing that that Juventus win. But yes, they've put themselves together a really decent squad. Whether it's going to be enough for them to meet all the criteria, I mean, time will tell. But they've certainly given themselves a fighting chance.
Half-time in the Women's National Premier League. Early afternoon kickoff. Canberra Olympic lead Madura by 3-0. They're looking set fair for a win. Let's look at the lineups then for this game in front of us. Gungahlin United versus Canberra Croatia. It's always a game that's worth watching. There's always something happening between these two. There hasn't been a disparity between these two in terms of where they are on the league table and points-wise for quite some time. A 24-point gap between the two. Croatia on 30. Gungahlin United on 6 with a game in hand, though that game in hand against O'Connor Knights. They will line up as follows. Well, let's have a look at Canberra Croatia first, of course, the home team. Dimu Grinic has rested Matt Gudabisha. He's given him a place on the bench today. Jason Matasia starts in goal. Tony Spaseski and Riley Souza will be the fullbacks. Jack Parach, Cullen and Daniel Subasic, central defence. Ryan Keir, Daniel Colbertado and the returning Nikola Jadric make up the midfield 3. Up top, well, it's a mix and match turn. It's Max Green on the right, Marko Jadric on the left, Thomas James in the middle. That means 9-goal Nick Pradagina and 7-goal Daniel Sparrow are on the bench. Nikola Subasic, Keegan Vucetic and Matt Gudabisha make up a very strong substitute contingent.
It's a very strong squad, isn't it? Good to see Nicky Jadric back. He had a bit of a problem with the knee, but obviously he's overcome that, and he'll be certainly the mobility in the midfield, but they'll be looking to him to create for them as well. His brother playing wide on one side. Interesting to see how they sort of pair off. But it's a strong side, good in every line, got plenty of goals, good defensively, strong midfield. So Jason Matasia's come in and hasn't put a foot wrong so far in replacing Sam Brown. So really good side.
On the subject of goalkeepers, Aidan Mumford leads Gungahlin United as captain and between the posts. Giancarlo Daddario at right back, Nikita Burns at left back. In the absence of Jack Green, Thomas Robertson is paired by Nikola Trajkovski in the central defensive role. Angus Bailey recently signed from Tigers FC, partners Riley Brown in front of them. 3 a line of in midfield. Yoshida Shoki will be the 10. AJ Malalulu on the left. Ayumu Komura, the new Japanese import, on the right, which means Frenchman Loic Lespenas starts up top. On the bench, defender Hamish Moore, young goalkeeper Samuel Hind, Deacon Palumbi, William McCloskey and Jaden Rippon.
Don't know a lot about this side, do we? I mean, the absence of Jack Green is a massive, massive blow in terms of experience. They've lost players in the window, but they've brought players in. So this is a new look. Gungahlin, we get to see some of the imports for a second time. Shockey, I mean, has been here before. We've been here for a while, and he's done really well. There'll be a lot of weight on his shoulders today. But Gungahlin, desperate to get something out of this game because, as you pointed out earlier on, Russ, they're sitting bottom of the table, and that is a very unusual position for Gungahlin.
Bruno Kell is our match referee. Aisha Strutt and Lachlan Lee Chiang are the assistants. Earlier this year in round 4 at Gungahlin in close, Keegan Vucetic gave Canberra Croatia a half-time lead, then 3 goals in 7 minutes in the second half from Thomas James twice and Max Green. Made sure Canberra Croatia won by 4-0. They've met 23 times in the NPL. Croatia have won 10, Gungahlin 9. 4 matches have been draws. In total, there have been 80 goals scored in those games. Both teams have struck 40 apiece. Including 9 cup matches, there have been 122 goals in 32 games. This one very rarely ends 0-0. And I'm not expecting it to be today.
No. There's usually something that happens in these games between these two clubs that raises the level of excitement for us.
Games at this venue, Gunners have actually won 5 to Croatia's 4 with 2 draws.
That's a good result, a good record.
Scored 23 goals here compared to 21 from the hosts. But this is a different Gungahlin United side to the one that were crowned champions last year. New faces.
Yeah, and they're up against the informed side of the competition that have a real opportunity, should they choose to take it, of extending the lead at the top of the table.
They've quite enjoyed playing here in the NPL this season, Canberra Croatia. 5 games at this venue, 5 wins, 28 goals. Not bad, is it?
Oh, fabulous. I mean, good at both ends of the park, aren't they?
Last time they were at this venue, of course, they went 1 down to O'Connor Knights.
Yeah, they didn't finish 1 down.
They scored 9 and answered after that. Since then, they've had 2 away games. Gungahlin a win down in Griffith by 3-1, and the hard-fought 2-0 win over Queanbeyan City at High Street last week.
And I think that was a particularly good result coming at the back end of a difficult run.
Here's Nikola Trajkovski in the central defensive position. Yoshida Shockey will shove in the back from Ryan Keir, or the trip by Cole Bataldo. Take your pick. Canberra Croatia, of course, found out their fate in the Australia Cup round of 32. They will play Metro Stars here at this venue in July some stage.
It's not a bad draw for them.
Well, Metro Stars are, I understand, 8 points clear at the top of their table in South Australia, and they're a very good outfit, but they've got to come here.
And look, Canberra Croatia are 8 points clear at the top of there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's an interesting draw. It's not, we're playing an A-League side, we're going out. It's
a winnable game, isn't it? And both teams will feel that as well, won't they?
Absolutely.
Spaseski sends it forward. It'll be Mumford's ball. Tigers FC in action this afternoon. They could go to second in the table if they beat Tuggeranong United, who I understand are without Steve Nealon, who's woken up poorly this morning. There's a fair bit of that going around town at the moment.
There is.
Suffered it myself last week. It wasn't pretty.
If you look at the sort of golden boot charts, Stevie Nealon is the only person outside the top 3, I think, that's even remotely close to claiming the boot.
They will miss him this afternoon.
Yeah, he's their consistent route to goal, so they will.
Nick Emmanuel will start instead of him at Canberra 2 today.
Well, he did very well at Gungahlin in close a couple of weeks ago when they beat Gungahlin. And I thought when Mitch Stevens pushed him up front, he led the line really well.
Nicky Yadrich, the ball in behind, and the flag's gone up against Marko Yadrich.
Must have been close.
Thomas James is back in the lineup, having had a couple of games on the bench.
He got hurt in the cup, didn't he?
Yeah. Just got himself back to full fitness. He's had an exceptional season. He's scored 9 goals in all competitions, 7 in the league, but it's a dozen assists that have been pretty impressive so far, and that's in the league only in 11 games. Here's Kimura. L'Espinasse heads, finds Burns.
Yes, his goal involvements, Thomas James, have been absolutely first class. And he'll be looking to sort of enhance that record today.
We had a little glimpse of Loic Lespinasse last week up at Gungahlin Close. Set up a really nice goal for Shockey when he got on a run, dribble past a few. Showed a glimpse of what the Frenchman from Po could give.
Might have had a couple himself, though, on that same day, didn't he?
Could have. Here's Marko Jadric skipping past one already. Angles acute. Forces the save from Mumford. Had other options as well, Marko Jadric.
Yeah, I just think the Gungahlin defence got enough numbers back to make his decision a little bit more difficult. And in the end, he's gone for goal. Nothing comes of it, but at least from a Canberra Croatia point of view, they're in behind the defenders and they've had a strike.
Gungahlin United with their multinational front four. Japanese import on the right, Japanese import in the middle. Samoan Youth International on the other flank, and Frenchman up top. It's the kind of league we play in these days.
It's
United Nations.
Must make the team talks interesting.
Well, given by Javier Roca, the Chilean.
Got a bit of everything. I don't think Jack Green's injured, he's just confused.
Riley Brown sends it forwards. Daniel Colbertaldo felt that, landed awkwardly.
I think he got a knee in the back.
Yeah, on the follow through. Game's carried on without him. Here's Kimura.
He's up and about.
Shockey. Lespinasse returns it to Shockey. Almost found a way through to Angus Bailey. Canberra Croatia get rid of it. Yeah. Not for long. Daddario. Lespinasse.
Perhaps guilty a little bit of overplaying in their back third. Sign of a team in good shape, though. Plenty of confidence.
Well, they don't mind bringing it out the back, do they? Canberra Croatia. Such a difficult side to play against at home.
Anyway.
They've not been quite so fluent on their travels, for whatever reason. Malaulu. Out on the side. That's Loic Lespinasse. My apologies. Just checking through something. Got a message just to say that the feed elsewhere isn't brilliant. It must be a poor internet day. I think ours is okay.
I've got a beautiful picture.
You do, don't you? Right in front of you. Here's Torakovsky. Lespinasse couldn't get that under control. Here's Jadric.
Oh, that's overdone.
Just got the wrong club out the bag, didn't he?
Yeah.
Clipped it too far.
It's a couple of times he's sort of mishit a pass. Hasn't quite got it right yet. But he's picking up good areas, picking up good space. So Thomas James is looking to see what's in behind as soon as one of those wingers, one of those midfielders gets control possession. He's on his bike and gone.
Trakowski looking for Malalulu over his head. Parach Cullen and Ryan Keir. Daniel Subasic today playing his 160th National Premier League match. Here's Thomas James, who's playing his 122nd, and he has 88 goals to his name.
How many Subasic got? Getting close?
Goals?
Yeah.
11. Not too bad for a centre-back, though, is it?
It's good, but it's not quite Thomas James' class.
Spasesky will chase. Well, there's not many in that class.
No.
Max Green's there for goals per game near enough. His 58th match this afternoon. He's on 39 Premier League goals.
That's a good return as well.
This season, he's got 13 in all competitions, Max Green.
He's been on fire, hasn't he?
Yeah, 7 in the league and 6 in the cup. He's been loving life here. Huge throw by into the area, helped on by Marko Jadric. Oli Souza with the long throw. It's almost like since Cole Falco's come on the scene and started launching ones in the penalty area, everyone else has had a go and gone, well, we've got one as well. That's Max Green with the long throw down in front of us.
Even in the CPL, you're seeing quite a bit of it coming into the games.
It's a good weapon if you can use it.
Yeah,
Max Green's got a long throw. Gabriel Ayul, we've seen launch one in the penalty. I mean, they're not quite Cole Falco-esque. Well, that's nice from Spaseski. Jadric, Spaseski again, Kier. Lespanas can spring something for Shockey. Neat and tidy, Yoshida Shockey. Riley Brown. Spaseski boots it into himself. Here's Ryan Kier. Always finds space, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Nicky Jadric for Marko Jadric, and back again for Nicky Jadric. First chance to see Thomas James. The flag is up for offside. Didn't see him for very long. Gungahlin on a 4-match streak without a win in the NPL since they won in round 6.
Yeah, and they got something on the plates here as well. That must have been awfully close for Thomas James there. If he was offside, he's only got himself to blame.
Well, they've only scored 8 goals this season in the NPL, Gunners. 5 of them have come in the first half. They've been a first-half team in that respect, and Shockey's looking to find Lespanas. Here's Matasia.
Wasn't a bad idea. Matasia did well, read it well. Now
the Sam Browns move to Sydney. He is the number 1. He's waited a long time to have the jersey
very patient
to himself, and he's getting his reward at the moment. Got a little bit of pressure from Jan-Paul Dorji, the Bhutanese goalkeeper that's playing in the reserves, who was shocked this afternoon, beaten 3-2 by Gungahlin United.
Did he play?
He did.
Yeah. So he's been beaten 3 times.
Was chipped from a while out as well. I think it was. I believe that the wind might have picked up because it was an awkward. If you watch the replay, the way it comes off the boot, it was a perfect trajectory, just dipped over his head. Here's Nicky Jadric, Marko Jadric, Thomas James in the middle, Max Green on the far post. Good hassle from Daddario. Subasic. James, Kier. James went for the return. Free kick is going to be given. Bit handsy from Trajkovski.
Yeah. It's typical Canberra Croatia. Get it into people's feet, make sure there's players under him to support, and then look for that ball that penetrates with the third man run. Really good football.
Normally you would say this is quite a long way out for a strike, but if you look at the shadows on the field, Aidan Mumford's going to be looking straight down the barrel of this. So, and Daniel Colbertaldo might fancy a pop.
Yeah, he may. It is a long way out.
It is, but the sun might make it a little bit tricky for the goalkeeper.
It's not a good area to be doing anything other than trying to find a shot or find a pass, because no matter where you put this, it's going to be a decent header.
Well, it's Colbertaldo to take, and he will try and dip it. Not quite as accurate as his 90th minute heroics at Strider Park a couple of weeks ago.
That was a cracker, wasn't it?
It wasn't too bad. We've seen some good goals at Strider Park this year. That one last night from Mason Donnell.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I've only seen the second half.
Do you remember seeing Robert Kachenko score an absolute scorcher into the top bins? It was very similar to that. From almost the same spot.
Was he injured last night?
Robert Kachenko was away.
Oh, right.
Trying to find out where he was last night, and Aideen Keane sent me a photo of him. She said she found him.
Where was
he? Was sat there watching it on TV. I have no idea where he was, but he was watching the match. So he was like, I said to Frank last night in commentary, it was like having proof of life, Oh, there he is.
That's a good ball.
James, raking pass out wide for Green. Sat up on the surface, a bit dry out there, and didn't really skip along. But they will get themselves a set piece, and the first chance to see Ryan Kier, Jack Gungahlin and Daniel Subasic make their way forward. Not exactly busting a gut to get there, are they?
No, but they're... oh, no. I thought they were going to go man-on-man at the back, but they're bringing Jadric back.
Colbertaldo will take this corner kick into the danger area, away from Gungahlin by Bailey. Rather shanked out by Jadric. Subasic, great touch. Bailey gets rid of it. Kimura. Free kick against Colbertaldo.
Well, if it's going to be a battle, Gungahlin are up for it. So far, so good for them. They've defended reasonably well. They haven't conceded any sort of decent chances yet. Haven't created any either. But they'll be happy, I think, if they can get a point out of this game.
Here's Mumford.
Oh, it's good.
Brilliant skills. An opportunity for Lespanas. Blocked by Spaseski.
Should have done better. Had options.
Daddario from the back, wasn't it, with a bit of ability?
Malalulu did really well. Cheeky little back heel to get the Frenchman away.
James.
Oh.
That'll be a free kick. Malalulu just a little bit too eager to get on to Thomas James.
Thomas James a little bit ambitious himself.
Subasic. Looking for the ball of James over the top. Flag stays down and Thomas James can have a go at Daddario. Backtracking Daddario. Did enough though. Still not away. Is now and one for Lespinasse to get after.
Again, well done.
And Malalulu tried to return the favour. Two players that perhaps haven't played a lot of football together.
It was, in the end, it was a nothing ball, but it was a lovely touch from, what's the Frenchman's name?
Lespinasse, Loic Lespinasse.
Lespinasse. Lovely touch from him in the first place. And they're just showing just glimpses that they might just have something about them despite all the absences.
Good touch again. And here's Shockey. Backtracking here, the defence, and Shockey wants to have a go. Matasia was called into action. Nice little touch again from Lespinasse.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of good moves forward in the last few minutes. It's just suggesting that Canberra Croatia will do well not to underestimate this opposition.
Cobaltaldo, James. Max Green, Cobaltaldo once more. Jack Barrage Cullen. James likes to drop into the little gaps to try and hold out and get involved in the play further afield.
He's looking to, in the wide areas, he's the one that wants to get in behind. In the central areas, the one who wants to drop it off and set it for the likes of Jadrick and Green to go in behind.
The match is delayed at Tuggeranong and Tigers, 3:30 kickoff, I'm told.
Yeah, there was a suggestion of an injury in one of the earlier games, so maybe that sort of held things up.
Marco Jadric won the challenge. It's come for Thomas James. Got to get past Bailey. Couldn't get past Riley Brown. And Lespinasse can turn away and have an advance as well. French forward. Recovered by Parach Cullen at the expense of a corner kick.
Showed a good turn of foot. Well, it's going to be a goal kick apparently.
Well, we thought it came off the defender.
Yeah, I did too.
Canberra Croatia women's team have taken the lead at Melrose. It's West Canberra Wanderers 0, Canberra Croatia 1 in that one. Good start for them. Canberra Olympic women's lead Madura by 5 goals to 0. Looks like they're going to have 3 points this afternoon.
I mean, Belconnen won a game the other week, 20-0.
They did. They're 0-0 at the moment with Gungahlin. Belconnen United.
Had a tough game last week as well against Canberra Croatia. Only got up 2-1.
At this very venue.
Were you here?
No, Sam Watson was on it. It was 2-0 at one stage. Riley Ewan pulled one back in with the last kick of the game.
Dad's president of Belconnen.
He played, and she now plays for Canberra Croatia, which I understand didn't go down very well when that was announced. Shockey over the top. Kimura's offside. The 3 women's Premier League games all this afternoon.
They'll be finishing under lights at Canberra.
They might well have to. Down at that venue.
That's a bit unlucky too. Canberra Croatia need to just shape themselves a little bit. They've been a bit sloppy in possession in the last few minutes, just turning it over in bad areas. Not being able to get themselves in behind Gungahlin, where in the early stages of the game we saw them regularly penetrate.
Well, they've only tested Aidan Mumford once. That was the Marko Jadric effort from the angle. Max Green against his former club. Scored in the Charity Shield for Gungahlin United earlier this season, did Max Green. Really good header as well. It was actually at Melrose Synthetic.
Oh, was it? There you go.
It was indeed. 2-1 loss.
That was the Knights, wasn't it?
It was against the Knights. Both those sides, when we were going to watch the Charity Shield, the Cup winners against the league champions, we'd have had a real surprise if you thought that those two would be the ones occupying the bottom two spots near enough of the table, even given that Gungahlin is sandwiched in between the pair at the moment.
You certainly wouldn't have had them in the bottom three, would you?
No. But then a lot of movement happened around those two clubs. And Daddario's made a bit of an error here. Has he recovered himself? No, says Bruno Kell. What colour's the card? It's yellow. And that was probably because there was a little bit of covering in the middle.
Yeah, bad touch. Jadric quick to pounce on it, and he was away, wasn't he?
Daddario made that lunge for the ball.
Yeah. I mean, with it being outside the penalty area, it probably pushes it closer to a shade of red. In the penalty area, you probably just give the penalty and don't double jeopardise the player.
I think it's good refereeing. Bruno Kell had a look across Lachlan Lee Chang at this near side to see whether there was cover or whether he thought it might be a different colour card, and the communication was very good. Not that it helps Marko Jadric at the moment. He's in a heap inside the box.
I hope it's not the same knee.
Give himself a quick drink of water.
That's all he wanted. He just wanted a drink.
I'm assuming it's water. Could be anything in there, couldn't it, really? I mean, like Powerade, Gatorade, White Monster. Yeah, that's the one. I had an energy drink this morning, Steve. With some sort of pink thing that was fruity.
Paraffin.
0 sugar. Certainly perked me up, though.
Good.
Let's see if Thomas James has got the energy to whip this over the wall and test Aidan Mumford.
Scored against, I can't remember, it was at Canberra in a cup game from a similar angle. Was it? Yeah. It might have been Tuggeranong.
He likes these kind of situations, doesn't he? It's almost perfect for him to whip the ball across. It is James, and he does get the whip in, and that's why he likes these kind of situations. It's a top-class free kick from a player at the peak of his powers, and Thomas James whips it home, and Croatia lead.
Can't complain about that if you're a Canberra Croatia fan. That's first class, top corner. Mumford given absolutely no chance, and Thomas James doing Thomas James things. I mean, that's just a wonderful exhibition of how to take a set piece.
It's the position that Thomas James loves. His 8th goal of the season, a super strike, and not even a goalkeeper of the quality of Aidan Mumford could get near that. And if Metro Stars are watching the video, their coaching staff will be saying, do not concede free kicks outside the penalty area within that range. And it's unfortunate for Gungahlin, who started rather brightly.
They hadn't done too bad. I mean, obviously they weren't pushing the Canberra Croatia defence to any extremes, but they'd started well. They were in the game, and unfortunately for them, Thomas James has just picked one out.
It's what he does. The Londoner, who's made Australia his home and has been terrorising defences since he got here in the colours of Monero Panthers.
He's had a new lease of life this season. He's got back to the sort of form we saw him have a couple of seasons ago. And he's got a sort of freedom to go and express himself in this Reds outfit, and I think he's absolutely delighted to be here.
So Max Green with that little touch, and in turn, Nicky Jadric. Ronnie Brown finds Daddario. What can Javier Roca's team do? They need to pick themselves up if they can. Shockey. There's one for Malaulu to chase, and he's going to get there. He's got the pace to get there as well, and he's won a corner. Good response for the Gunners in their new black and white striped kits.
Yeah, it's better than the pink one, I think. I
quite like the pink and white one.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I don't mind this either.
I think this is traditionally Gungahlin. But positive signs from some of the touches in that final third. Some of them are really clever.
Maybe set piece will be the route to goal for Gungahlin United. No Jack Green to hit, of course. Thomas Robertson's made his way in there, the tallest of the players.
It'll confuse the defender because everybody knows it's going to Jack Green and he's not there.
Still might. Shocky, good delivery that is, and Mateja was nowhere near it. Daddario can pop it down. Malaulu couldn't get a touch, and Riley Brown's tried something. He's almost found Shocky with a pass.
Oh. Took a bit of a deflection.
It's not often over the last, must be 10 years or so, that I've seen a Gungahlin team without Jack Green in it.
No, you wouldn't see it very often, that's for sure. Very rarely suspended, very rarely injured. Maybe grandfather time is just catching up with him a bit.
As in father time, grandfather time's a bit harsh for Jack Green. I'm sure he'll love you saying that. I mean, look, Justin Wells is still going around, isn't he? Nico Abbott's nearly 40, and he's still playing. He was injured again yesterday, though. He pulled a hamstring, tweaked his hamstring in training, Nico Abbott, so he wasn't quite 100%.
He was on the bench, I think, wasn't he?
He wasn't supposed to be on the bench, and then he was named on the bench very late in the piece.
He certainly didn't come on, did
No, he wasn't gonna. It wasn't likely to come on, which is why it's strange that they named him. But anyway, we don't pick the team. Malaulu finds Bailey.
No, I've got grandfathers on my mind with Tony Oliveira joining those ranks. And Wesley.
I don't know if you heard last night in the commentary that Steve Dominici and his wife Bella had a little one as well.
Oh, did they? Yeah, congratulations.
On Tuesday, I understand.
Yeah, Regan Walsh has just added to his family as well.
Look at this, it's a whole week of it.
Yeah.
Here's Shocky. Well, that's nicely done. And Spaseski's brought him down and he's going to see yellow. Tony Spaseski. Third time this season he's received a yellow card.
Not much point arguing. It was late.
He was done by a terrific piece of skill from Yoshida Shocky.
I don't think he meant to foul him. He just got there late.
Well, he went for a ball that suddenly wasn't there. It was beautifully done, and it's a free kick in a good position for Gungahlin United. Shocky scored 3 goals in his last 5 matches in this competition. In 6 away matches this year, Gunners have drawn 3 and lost 3. But they have conceded 16 goals in the 3 games they've lost. So when they lose, they've been losing heavily. But they've got a chance to get themselves back on terms here. One of those free kicks which is very similar to where Thomas James just scored from, but the other end of the field.
Yeah.
Jason Mateja will line the wall. Yoshida Shocky will attempt his best Thomas James impersonation.
Go over Daniel Colbertalda to the near post. That's his best option.
What's Shocky got? Has he got something of equal quality? He's gone in that area. Didn't quite have the whip required.
No. It was probably a good idea, but the execution didn't quite match the conception.
No, I'm no free kick expert, but he looked like he was a little bit rushed in the shot there. In terms of the strides to hit the ball, looked a little bit jarring.
Maybe. He certainly he got too far outside it.
Burns with a really big header. Shocky helps it on. Subasic launches one. Daddario watched it come down from a great height.
I'll tell you what, Daddario has filled in on a number of positions for Gungahlin this season, and he's done really well no matter where they've asked him to play. He's proving to be their Mr. Versatile.
Scored his first NPL goal to get a point at High Street a couple of weeks ago. A really tidy finish for a 2-2 draw. Had scored a couple in the Cup earlier in the campaign.
He's got a little bit about him, Charlie Daddario. He played with Bill Conlon a couple of seasons ago. And
yeah, started off at Canberra Olympic.
Yeah, that's correct.
Under Robbie Catanach. Gave him his bow in Premier League back in the old top 4, bottom 4 series.
Oh,
that was great fun, that was, wasn't it?
That's as bad as the Club World Championships.
Max Green finds Thomas James. They've worked this nicely. And James has had a shot. The deflection will spin away. It will be a corner. Yeah, I'm not sure what I preferred more, the Club World Championship or the top 4, bottom 4. They were equally popular amongst football fans.
they can't give.
Look, the only person that enjoyed it was David Jenkins, who scored.
He scored
cracker at that end at about 10:30 in the morning on a Sunday.
And he's still dining out on it. You know that, don't you?
Why not? Cole Bataldo whips it to that near post. Keir missed it, and he's disappointed with himself. He didn't get a touch. Nicky Yardrich, Cole Bataldo. Great looking ball that is as well. Came off of Trojkovski. Anywhere will do for Gungahlin. Nearly half an hour played.
Hasn't sort of burst into life, has it?
Not the most fluent football match, is it? Max Green, Nicky Yardrich runs into Burns, physical and strong. Here's Shockey. Malaulu on the turn. Lespenas. Nice first time ball, looking for the on-rushing Daddario.
Yeah, nice bit of football, well defended. And that's sort of the story of the afternoon thus far, that both teams are capable of getting into that attacking third, but there's not a lot of end product once they do.
Here's Tony Spaseski. Under pressure from Kimura. Max Green. Spaseski. Angus Bailey won it back. Spaseski's prodded it wide. That's going to roll into the path of James, who I think has given himself up as offside. No flag will go up now because he's stopped running.
Yeah.
I think he knew.
Well, I think that's why he stopped.
Riley Souza stepped in front of Malalulu. Marco Yardrich pings one out here towards Thomas James. Says, get after that.
Yeah. No need for that.
They finally got underway at Canberra. Tuggeranong versus Tigers. I'll keep you across that one as well as the afternoon progresses. Riley Brown's header only finds Tony Spaseski. Cole Bataldo. Spaseski again. Subasic. Kimura. Oh, Bailey was caught by Ryan Keir there. He said he got the ball, Ryan Keir.
I don't think he did. That might have been a yellow card as well.
Well, if Ryan Keir did get the ball, I think he got a fair bit of Angus Bailey in the first instance.
Absolutely. I thought Bailey got it, and that's why it's gone that way. I'll stand corrected, though.
You don't have to, because the free kick's been given. Women's National Premier League, West Canberra Wanderers 0, Canberra Croatia 2. Half an hour into the contest. Quarter of an hour to go at O'Connor. Canberra Olympic 6, Majura 0.
Poor old Majura.
Trojkovski forward. Canberra Croatia lead here by a goal to 0. And up at Gungahlin enclosed in the Women's Premier League. Gungahlin 0, Belconnen 0. Here's Del Dario. Marco Yardrich. And Thomas Robertson just said thank you very much. Malalulu picked off again by Souza. A bit of a lazy ball there from AJ Malalulu. That's not a lazy ball though, and that's really well picked off. Trojkovski. Marco Yardrich.
He's just trying too hard.
Mumford away. Won by Souza. Must be difficult. If you're in those front 4 or 5 positions for Canberra Croatia and you look on the bench and you see Nicholas Pradashina, Daniel Sparrow, Keegan Vucetic. There's players knocking on the door, isn't there?
There's
Here goes
really
Thomas James. Oh, that's one heck of a pass to Cole Bataldo. Is this 2? No. Because Burns clears it away.
It should have been. Full credit to the defenders, but that really should have been a second and really putting Gungahlin out of touch. But they're in it. They're still in it.
That reverse pass from Thomas James was
Just
beautiful,
brilliant.
wasn't it?
Absolutely brilliant. Great run from Cole Bataldo. And I think he'd be a little disappointed he hasn't finished that himself.
Well, easy to say from up here, but probably did not need the touch. Maybe could have just swept his right foot through it. Bit in good goal-scoring form, Daniel Cole Bataldo.
Yeah,
2 in his last 3.
Ever since somebody said that he hadn't scored from the season.
Absolutely. And then he went and scored 2 in 2 games. It's a card coming out here for someone. And it's a yellow for Nikola Jadric, and he might be in trouble here, and he's going to get himself sent off for something he said to the referee as he was walking away. He's not a happy boy right about now, and he should just wrap it up and walk off, I think. He's not happy for some reason. Not entirely sure what he was worried about. But Niki Jadric, who's just come back, is now sent off. And Canberra Croatia are down to 10.
Well, that might be the break that Gungahlin needed. I mean, I don't know what he said, but it's obviously got under Bruno Kell's skin.
Well, that was a straight red in the air, wasn't it? It wasn't a second yellow that was brandished either.
No, it was straight red, so it must have been a little colourful, the language.
Well, whatever it might be, Canberra Croatia
down to 10.
Yeah, and I don't know what even might have sparked that, because it was a throw-in, right?
Yeah.
Which is where we're going to start from with Tony Spaseski.
See how they adjust.
Well, this will be a test for them. The 10 men.
He certainly didn't take the sending off with any good grace.
No, which is probably going to get him a bit more trouble.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be for the disciplinary panel to keep an eye on, and depending on what's in the report. But clearly said something that rankled the match officials, and who had no hesitation in reaching for the back pocket. He gave him a chance to walk away from it, didn't he, in the first instance?
He did, but there was a bit of finger wagging going on, and some verbals continued.
Maybe this will spark Canberra Croatia. They might feel a sense of injustice, Steve Forshaw.
Well,
not that there was any, I don't think, but you might, you know.
Yeah, we don't know what he said, what he was done, what's caused it, but it's an opportunity for Gungahlin playing against 10 to try and get something out of the game, and as you suggest, it might just get the dander up of Canberra Croatia, and if you've poked the bear in this side, you can pay the consequences.
Thomas James over this free kick. He scored from one. This one's going to be swept into the penalty area. Good-looking ball too. It's come off Tchaikovsky. Robertson prevents it going for a corner. Yeah, Gungahlin United might be going, oh, blimey, could have done without that.
Yeah,
it was going on quite well till that happened. Here's Spaseski. Far in the belly, perhaps, for the home side. James.
What they do have, of course, is that one goal advantage, so they've got something to hang on to. And they're more than capable of getting another, even if they are down to 10 men. So it's not a huge body blow. They could have done without it, obviously.
Well, Marko Jadric has dropped into the midfield, so they've effectively just swapped a Jadric for a Jadric in there.
Yeah.
They'll play with two up top.
Yeah.
Thomas James and Max Green, which isn't a bad pairing, is it?
Oh, it's good. So they've really gone to a 4-3-2.
So it would seem.
And I think probably Max Green is going to be asked to do a little bit of work as a sort of extra midfielder when they're defending.
Malalulu. Daddario. Looking for Kimura. Comes back for Malalulu. Brown.
If they can pinch the equaliser, then it'll make it interesting.
Burns leaves it for Shockey. Space here for Kimura. Took too long. Didn't see Ryan Keir. Tchaikovsky. Brown. Shockey again. Lovely ball, that is. And he's found Burns, whose delivery's not too bad. It'll come for Daddario to blast it.
Good football. Really good football. Good defending as well, though. They got out quickly to make sure that Daddario was under pressure, but they've worked that really well down this left-hand side. Little reverse pass again. Very nice.
Well, there'll be plenty of football-loving supporters of the Big Cats, hoping that Gungahlin United might be able to take advantage of this numerical superiority.
Yeah, there's certainly those Monero and Tigers fans will be thinking this is an opportunity. Close that gap.
Here's Shockey. Good angle ball. Lespenas going to tee it up for Kimura. Great first touch. Better second. Beaten away by Mateja.
Good save.
They want a handball here, Gungahlin, and there's a little bit of afters. Spaseski and Lespenas. Meanwhile, it's been played for Thomas James. Temper's rising. James goes down in the box, asks the question. Nothing given there either.
Some noise.
Plenty of noise. The referee's got his flag up in the back here over the linesman in the far side. Is this going to be either a penalty for handball or potentially something that's happened off the ball between Lespinas and Spaseski? Which one of the two?
Perhaps both. But it certainly looked like the hand was used.
He's got the flag up. What is the decision, though? The flag is up. Maybe it's offside, and maybe it's even less less than all of that. I think it might be, to be honest.
Well, you'd just play on if it was handball.
Well, it's offside, I think.
Well, you wouldn't. You would just play on. Why would you bring it back from offside?
I don't know, but it looks like offside.
He's still got the flag up. You're not going to talk to him?
Well, they should strut over there. I think she's flagging for offside. I think that's what it was. So in the end, and then again, Subasic with Lespinas. The temperature's just rising a bit, isn't it, in terms of what's happening on the field? Gunners Croatia always brims, simmers under the surface.
There's never a game goes by between these two that there aren't a few talking points.
Well, there's generally a red card, isn't there? And we've already got one.
Yep. Maybe we haven't seen the last of them.
I did say when I was doing a game here about 2 seasons ago, you could write a whole book on these games between these two, just because of all the incidents that happen. Felipe Bernardo Madrid, who used to play in the colours of Canberra Croatia, used to get under the skin of them when he was back here for Gungahlin, didn't he? His battles with Matt Gerbischer, legendary.
Yeah, but we never, not in a long, long age, have we seen top v bottom with these two teams. And that just adds a little bit more spice, I think.
Spaseski in with Brown. Colbertaldo wants to clip it over the top for Max Green. Angle favoured Mumford.
Yeah, James was his better option. James gets it and he gets Max Green in, and then you're looking at 2.
5 minutes to play. Trojkovski. Burns. Trojkovski again. Was giving it away to Ryan Keir. And that's offside. Thomas James, who wanted it a little earlier.
Yeah.
Dangerous game to play, though, that high line.
With
the Thomas James.
Yeah. Very high line. And if they can get it wrong a number of times, and you get away with it from a Gungahlin point of view, but if they get it right once, they're in trouble.
There's a change coming here for Canberra Croatia, I think.
Yeah.
Dina Grinic is not best pleased with what he's seen so far since the send-off. That's going to break for Shockey. Jadric is down injured as well. Shockey has a go. And it's Marko Jadric with that left knee, I think.
That could be end of section for both the Jadric brothers.
Might well be. He looks in a bit of pain.
Yeah, he does. Don't see what happened. A bit of a block tackle in there, I think, and he might just have twisted something.
Keegan Vucetic getting ready. Would be the like-for-like replacement. Maybe this was back to the foul that Daddario brought him down on the edge of the box.
Maybe, yeah. He's certainly not happy.
Well, it looks like a hamstring, doesn't it?
It's certainly like feeling a hamstring.
He's limping off it. And
yeah, it's...
they've lost both Jadric's in the first half. Don't lose an awful lot with the introduction of Keegan Vucetic, though.
No, he's been having a good year. But it's not the sort of thing you want happening to your team just before half-time. You're down to 10 men and you've got to make another change. It can upset the apple cart a little bit.
Well, we hope that Marko Jadric isn't too badly injured. He doesn't look in a very happy way over there, does he?
Well, he's at least made his way off under his own steam, so that's something. If it's a hamstring, it'll be a couple of weeks, but not the end of the world.
One of those moments where he'll walk in the changing room and his brother's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Subasic. Will roll out of play. 3 minutes to go in the first half. Entertaining first half as well.
Yeah, it hasn't sort of cracked any pots, but it's had enough about it to keep you interested.
It just is bubbling along, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here's Vucetic, first opportunity for him to shine. Settle for the throw. Canberra Croatia.
To be fair, Matej's probably been busy of the keepers. So he hasn't had a difficult save to make, but they've had a number of shots that have been on target.
That goal from Thomas James was in the 21st minute. This season they'd scored 7 goals in the opening 20 minutes of the campaign. That's how good they've started matches, Canberra Croatia. This one just outside that window. They have scored at least once in every single game they've played this year, which is perhaps not surprising.
That's right. I mean, even the game they lost, it was only 2-1.
Subasic. James this time has broken the offside trap. Not much to hit at the moment in the penalty area. Cavalry arriving now with Colbertaldo, and Max Green on the turn, rifles it home against his former club. James to Colbertaldo to Max Green, and the 10 men have 2.
The 3 defenders go to Thomas James and leave Colbertaldo in too much room, and Colbertaldo is just too clever. He finds that little pass into Green, and Green unerringly into the bottom left-hand corner, 2-0. And even with 10 men, they're looking like they may stretch the lead at the top of the table.
An 8th in the league, a 14th in all competitions. And Max Green against his former club. What do they say about biting the hand that used to feed you? But just the sheer presence of Thomas James, as you say, attracted the defence. Colbertaldo might have hit it himself.
It looked like he was going to, didn't he? It looked like he was winding up, but then it was just cleverly disguised, and that little slip pass into Green, just perfect.
And the finish of a player that is brimful of confidence, isn't he?
Yeah.
It was a beautiful turn and hit.
I mean, you just don't save them. The goalkeepers have got no chance. He puts it in the bottom. Oh.
Well, here's Shockey. It's ricocheted nicely for him. Yoshida Shockey, and it's Kimura. Surely it's 2-1. He's missed it. What a chance that was for Ayumu Kimura to get Gungahlin United back in the game, and he might not get better chance. And Riley Brown and Nikita Burns threw themselves to the ground in disbelief behind him.
Oh no, I mean, that was their way back in, wasn't it? There was just such a good opportunity that, yeah, you were putting your house on the finish, but he's taken a touch and then he's gone with the old traditional toe poke rather than maybe hitting it first time and just putting it in the bottom corner. It's a poor miss. Well-constructed move, well-constructed chance, but it's a poor miss.
Went on his right, with a left foot, side foot, might have just done the business.
Absolutely.
And they might rue that, Gungahlin United. Great chance to get back into it. Meanwhile, Sousa's put Max Green in over the top again. And he's streaking away here. Robertson is up there with him. He's got Keegan Vucetic in the area. Didn't want to use him. Gives it to Thomas James instead. Not a bad option. Back to Vucetic, and here's James. And he tried the reverse ball to Vucetic.
Yeah, he did. And they're just not, they're not capable of dealing with it at the moment. Gungahlin.
Shockey helps it on. Lespanas.
Oh, that's a poor miss for him. I mean, if you ever needed a goal to go in, you needed it then. Bounce back straight away.
Green, James. And he's found Max Green. And the flag stays down, and Max Green has got Thomas James in the middle, just cuts back. It's Green again, and the ricochet saves perhaps Gungahlin from a third. I think it was Daddario threw himself in the way.
Good
heroic
defending.
block.
Yeah, good block. Good block. But Max Green's just getting in behind him too easily.
You would not know which team have the 10. Lespanas will chase. Subasic went with him. Paseski's gone to help. Lespanas has done well. And then runs into Jack Palachkana. I think he's running out of play anyway.
Yeah, it looks like it.
3 minutes. Nick Trakowski trying to explain to the assistant that Max Green had come from an offside position. We can see it from up here, Nicola, and I don't think he did.
Getting desperate, aren't you, when you've got to talk to the linesman 20 minutes after the event?
Well, it's the last action of the first half, which was full of talking points, not least the fact that Canberra Croatia have been reduced to 10 men, and normally, well, that would be a bit of a spoke in the wheels, wouldn't it, really, or whatever you call that. But unfortunately for Gungahlin United, they've scored twice, Canberra Croatia.
Yeah, 2-0, and you would think even with 10 men, that's a mountain for Gungahlin to climb. But there's some football in this Gungahlin side, and it wouldn't surprise you that they do create chances and perhaps pull one or two back. We saw towards the end of the first half that they should have got at least one back. Canberra Croatia have had to remodel their midfield with both Jadrick boys going off one reason or another. Doesn't seem to have missed a beat. Even the send-off just hasn't broken their stride at all. So, look, they're red-hot favourites as they were at the start of the game. Now they're in the box seat. It's very hard to see Gungahlin getting back into this game.
Goals from the usual suspects. One halfway through the first half from Thomas James from a free kick. One right at the end of the first half from Max Green from Daniel Cobertaldo's wonderful reverse pass. And that, despite the send-off of Nicky Argic, which left Canberra Croatia down to 10, means at half-time here at Deakin Stadium, the league leaders are extending their lead at the top of the table. It's Canberra Croatia 2, Gungahlin United 0. Welcome back to Deakin Stadium when at half-time, 10-man Canberra Croatia lead Gungahlin United by 2-0. And they made a half-time change. Jack Gungahlin is coming off and Matt Gerbischer is coming on at the back. The hugely experienced Matty Gerbischer for the 269th time in the National Premier League. My name's Russ Gibbs. Steve Forshaw is still with me. Nicky Jardric sent off in the first half. Marko Jardric limped off in the first half. Keegan Vucic came on. 2 goals. Thomas James with a brilliant free kick halfway through. And then Max Green from that pass from Cole Bataldo. It makes 2-0.
Yeah, puts the red machine in the box seat, and they've obviously decided that the experience of Gerbischer at the back is necessary to ensure that they don't give Gungahlin even a sniff.
Well, 45 minutes for the Gunners to try and get themselves back into this. Just checking their lineup, and it looks like it's the same. No changes for the visitors as yet.
No, they want to be changing their finishing though, because the golden opportunity to get back in at a 2-1 was wasted just before half-time. And if they're going to get something out of this game, they can't afford to be doing things like that.
Yeah, that might have changed the whole complexion of the second half if Ayumu Kamura had scored.
Yeah, it's certainly the reaction from his teammates suggested that might be the case, because they, I think you pointed it out, they actually threw themselves on the floor.
Oh, there was some disappointment, wasn't there?
Yeah.
They knew it was the chance. Couple of results in the women's reserves. Gungahlin 0, Belconnen 4. West Canberra 1, Canberra Croatia 5. In the women's reserves.
Belconnen were playing today, did you say?
They are. They're playing Gungahlin. And the other women's reserve match today was Canberra Olympic 4, Majura 0. That's you up to date with women's reserves. And women's Premier League 0-0. I understand that the feed isn't brilliant from out there. Must be some real internet issues out at Gungahlin today, which is not ideal.
No.
When you're trying to broadcast matches. 0-0 at half-time, I understand, in that match between Gungahlin and Belconnen. The rest of the league will hope that stays that way. West Canberra 1, Canberra Croatia 4 over at Melrose Synthetic. And it's finished at Canberra at O'Connor, and it's finished, I believe, 7-0 to Canberra Olympic.
Not an unexpected result. I don't think any of those results are unexpected, apart from the 0-0 draw at Gungahlin. So far.
So far, yes. Still half to go in that one. Still 50 minutes or so to go at Melrose Synthetic, but Canberra Croatia comfortably ahead. Not so here. Vucic 2-0 up, but not quite over the hill. Well done by Malalulu.
It was, but it wasn't a great run from Max Green.
Took his space, didn't he? Here's Shockey. Gets past Spaseski. Yoshida Shockey. Not a bad ball in as well. Spaseski needed to be careful, didn't he? He's already on a yellow card as well.
There was no way in the world he could afford to make a lunging tackle there.
One back by Burns. Malalulu.
He's looked okay.
Shockey. Look most likely to create something, Shockey, with this man, Lespinas. Real chance, Loic Lespinas, there's one back. First NPL goal for the Frenchman, 4 minutes into the second half. There's life in the Gunners yet.
What a ball. I mean, if we wax lyrical about Cole Bataldo's little pass in the first half, then that was equally as exquisite Great goal, great finish, game on.
Loic Lespinas announces himself to the Premier League with a crisp finish past Jason Matejka. Created by Shoki. Made in Japan. Finished in France.
Love it.
And now we got a game.
Yeah, so the inclusion of Matt Gerbisher to shore things up hasn't quite paid dividends yet.
Here he is. This is his first touch of the ball, I think. He's given it away to Kimura. He's gone the wrong way. Sousa's won it back. Gerbisher finds Vucetic. Slipped by Max Green.
Just trying to overplay a little bit.
Oh, he hurt his knee there as well, maybe. Keep an eye on that out of picture. Here's Shoki. Sousa's won it back. Wasn't the best ball that time from Yoshida Shoki, but it was a wonderful pass to Lespinas. Finish was good, wasn't it? Took it inside and
it was just
cracked it in the bottom corner.
A wonderful move. I mean, the pass. I mean, obviously the pass sets it up, but you've got to be good enough to finish as well, and he certainly was.
First goal in Gunners' colours for the former PO FC forward. Here's Thomas James.
Not going to get anything out of that, Thomas.
Ryan Keir finds Sousa. Gerbisher. Subasic. Questions being asked of Canberra Croatia. Let's see what sort of answers they've got.
Yeah, I think from a Gungahlin point of view, they have nothing left to lose. So they really should be pressing either against 10 men. They're back in the game. Realistically, they've got to get pressure on the Canberra Croatia backline high up the pitch and see where that takes them.
Malalulu. Kimura.
Rather predictable.
Canberra Croatia. Top of the table heading into this one. They can afford one or two slip-ups.
They won't want to, though.
No, absolutely. Their cushion at the top after yesterday is now 7 points before today's game. They could make it double figures, depending on obviously what happens with the Tigers' total game.
Yeah.
Malalulu plays that one through, but it's easier for Matejka.
How many points are Tigers behind?
Well, Tigers' win today would put them onto 24 points. Croatia currently on 30 before today. So it would be 6, plus this would be 9.
So they would increase their lead.
At the top of the table yet, if they got a result today. And they might well do. Spaseski in behind and an opportunity for Tony Spaseski. It's not his best ball and it's just hammered away by Daddario.
Went too early. Went too early. The support players were just not there.
Well, there has been a goal at Canberra and it has gone to Tigers 5 minutes before half-time. Tuggeranong United 0, Tigers FC 1. So Tigers, as it stands, are into second. And the gap would be 9 points.
And do we know who scored?
As if on cue. No, I don't. We can try and find out for you, though, Steve. But
this is why I love working with you, Russ. It's just information at your fingertips.
Well, we try. See how it goes. It looks like William Accio, I believe. And it is. It's actually Perla. Have a look at this, Steve. You'll enjoy this one from William Accio. This is the beauty of having a live stream that we can go to.
Oh, yeah. Top bins.
Yeah, really good goal from the Tigers striker. Puts his team in the lead at Canberra. Another assist for Shandon Whitehead amongst all that as well.
Playing a little deeper. Malalulu.
Well, it's working for them, isn't it, at the moment? Yeah. Here is Malalulu. Riley Brown. Vucetic finds Colbertaldo. Thomas James has peeled away. And Mumford's come, and he's not going to get there, is he? Well, he is just about. Goodness me, for a moment he looked like he hesitated, and it looked like Thomas James was going to get in.
Yeah, I think Mr. Thurtell has dodged a bullet there because he seemed to hesitate as he came.
Mr. Mumford.
Mr. Mumford, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
Mumford and Sons.
Mumford didn't lose it in the sun. He's at the other end now.
Yes, you don't hesitate when Thomas James is around. As they say in the old saying.
That's the one.
He who hesitates has lost.
He who hesitates against Thomas James usually finds a ball in the back of your net.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's the exact wording of the saying.
It's very close. Very close.
Canberra Croatia might be thinking about a change. Dina Greenwich, he's having a chat down there with his assistants, just wondering about potentially how they grab back hold of this. That goal right at the start of the second half has changed the complexion somewhat.
It has, but there's no need for them to be panicking.
I mean, arguably, they should be level, shouldn't they? With the chance they missed from this man in the first half.
Yeah, they should. But it's really just a matter of how you set your defensive block from a Canberra Croatia point of view. If they're actually content to sit a little bit deeper, make it very, very hard for Gungahlin to break them down. There's just a lot of experience at the back there. But they've done it once, so if you can do it once, you can do it again.
Here's Dario to whip it into the middle to Lespinas. Good first touch. He got his shot away early. Gerbischer needs to tidy up. It's caught by Shockey. Nothing doing, says the officials, and that was a good ball in again. Here's Angus Bailey. Shockey, lovely touch. Lespinas to return it. Shockey! That's wonderful! Sensational equaliser for Gungahlin United. Out of the top draw. Brilliant from the front two. And Yoshida Shockey brings us back on terms.
That's just wonderful football. A gorgeous little flick from, I think it was Lespinas. And then what a finish. I mean, they just cut them apart. I mean, that's not about being down to 10 men. That's just great football from a Gungahlin point of view.
Drag themselves off the canvas against the 10 men. Now it's game on.
Is it ever?
A quite brilliant goal. Sensationally worked and finished.
Worthy of an equaliser, wasn't it?
Battered past Jason Matejka. But what a flick from Lespinas. He's threatened to do that a couple of times today, hasn't he?
He has.
Malalulu. Confidence now in this Gungahlin team. Dario. Kimura. Now to turn and find Angus Bailey. Shockey. Spaseski gets a foot in. Kimura down on the edge of the box. The shirt pulled by Vucicic.
This is not good football. This is mentally they've got to be a lot better. They're just very sloppy, very sloppy. Poor defending, poor decisions. Under pressure here, and this is probably, certainly it's the first time since Tigers beat them that they've been in this sort of position. So let's see how they can handle it.
There's enough experience out there to handle it.
You would think so, but they were 2-0 up when they came out. The half-time break, they ain't anymore.
Loic Lespinas, well, he is firing at the moment. He's got himself a goal and an assist, and he fancies this.
He does.
Haven't seen enough of him from set pieces to see how he does manage it from here, but we've seen he can strike a ball.
Gee,
there's no doubt the technique is there.
That's a close 10.
It is Lespinas for Gungahlin. Oh, it's brilliant! Absolutely brilliant from the Frenchman, announcing himself to the NPL, and from 2-0 down, Gungahlin United are 3-2 up at the home of the league leaders.
And this is in the first 10 minutes. I don't think we've played 10 minutes yet. Just over 10 minutes. 3 goals in 10 minutes, and they are rattled. The Reds are rattled, but whether they are or not, what a strike that is. That was in the back of the net before Jason Mateo even saw it been taken. Brilliant, brilliant free kick. Saw a good one in the first half from Thomas James. Seen a better one in the second half. 3-2 Gungahlin. Who'd have thought?
3 goals in 9 minutes of football. And Gungahlin United have turned this one on its head. 3 beautifully crafted goals, different in their own way.
But gems, absolute gems. I mean, what do Canberra Croatia do now? They can't afford to just manage the game.
They're going to change things up. Max Green's coming off. Daniel Sparrow is going to come on.
Yeah, I mean, this is about Daniel Sparrow's work rate, I think, as much as anything else.
Loic Lespenas. I saw his debut at High Street a couple of weeks ago. He flitted in and out. Did the same last week, didn't he, at Gungahlin enclosed, and as you suggested, might have scored. Created a goal, but goodness me, he's coming to his own here against the league leaders. He's loving Deakin Stadium.
Well, he's got a goal and an assist, hasn't he, today?
2 goals.
Oh, 2 goals,
assist,
yeah. Star of the show at the moment from a Gungahlin point of view.
Well, they did talk about how good he is. It's half-time at Canberra 2. Tuggeranong nil, Tigers at 1, and all of a sudden, the gap at the top will shrink a little.
Yeah. Puts a bit of life back into it, doesn't it? And now Gungahlin can manage the game.
Well, Monero Panthers will be fuming. Last night they didn't get the points to close the gap at the top. It would still be if it finished as we are now, it'd still be 6. And Canberra Croatia put themselves in the situation, Steve, where they can slip up a couple of times if necessary. They won't want to. They're down to 10, remember. Vucetic.
They've made 4 changes as well from the starting 11. 1 enforced, of course, with this engine off.
Here's Ryan Keir, Cole Bataldo. If you're a Gungahlin fan, well, it's too simplistic to say where's this been all season, because there's been numerous changes in personnel.
There has.
Even given the context of the situation of playing against 10 at the moment, they've been superb, especially in this second half. Here's James. That's not good from Nikita Burns. He's going to get a yellow card for that.
At least
for sure. Wasn't a good challenge at all for Nikita Burns.
It's gone yellow.
3rd yellow card of the campaign. Well, it's been a long time for Gungahlin since they've had a decent result away from home. And a long way away from doing this one just yet. Here's Thomas James looking to change things around.
I was talking to people this morning and they were saying, what do you think this afternoon's result will be? And I was thinking 5 or 6.
James into the area. What do you mean, goals?
Yeah.
It might be 5 or 6 goals.
No, I mean 4 Canberra Croatia.
I don't think you legislated for the send-off in the first half. Though.
No, I didn't contemplate that.
But whatever was said in the change room at half-time by Javier Roca and his coaching staff has certainly paid dividends. They've got an early goal, and they've added 2 more, and they've turned this one around. Still work to be done.
2nd and 3rd goals.
James in, Robertson half away. Yeah, 2nd and 3rd goals were excellent, weren't they?
Yeah, they're the sort of things that you put on your highlight reel and say, let's have a look at these over and over again.
Even the first one with Shockey's reverse ball in for Lespenas,
yeah,
and then a touch inside and hit.
Yeah. But they just looked out of sorts in the start of the second half, both at the back and through the middle of the park.
Yeah, not been their day so far, Canberra Croatia. Got themselves a free kick now from a long way away. Thomas James over it.
Well, they put the wall up. It's a long way out.
Sure, he won't try a shot from here, will he? I wouldn't have thought so from the run-up, or maybe he will.
Knuckleball it.
Gerbischer fighting for it. It is James, hammers it low and hard. Wasn't his best.
Ambitious, wasn't it? In that sort of distance.
Felt more like a let's hit it and see what happens rather than any expectation.
It's offside.
Sparrow might have been offside. He's thundered into the challenge on Daddario. He's ridden it well, but the flag did go up.
Yeah.
Giancarlo Daddario was like, well, why couldn't you have blown that a little bit earlier? I didn't have to wear a challenge from Daniel Sparrow. Righty Bound's got heaps of room here. Canberra Croatia gone to sleep. Shocking. Bailey, Sparrow, he won't give this up yet.
No, but that's the sort of work rate that Daniel Sparrow brings.
It's Daddario. Malalulu.
Yeah, ambitious.
Well, just in case you were looking for something to do next weekend, Saturday nights, Strider Park, Monero Panthers versus Queanbeyan City. The Derby Mark II over in New South Wales. Sunday afternoon, right here, Canberra Croatia versus Tigers FC.
Big one.
2 big matches next weekend. We're bringing them both live on our YouTube channel, of course. Looking forward to both of those. At one stage this weekend, Canberra Croatia will potentially looking at a 10-point advantage. Come this time next week, it might be down to 3.
An incredible turn of events if that occurs.
Long way to happen between there now and then, of course.
Yeah. You might get the crystal ball out, but it won't tell you much.
Often lies, doesn't it? The magic 8 ball. I've got one of them in the house.
Have you?
Yeah, my kids love it. Like, should Daddy give us a bowl of lollies? Get the magic 8 bowl out. Subasic. Spaseski back for Mateja.
Battling the sun.
Yeah, trying to get a little bit of composure on the ball, and Vucicic is robbed by Kimura, who's been rescued by Gerbischer momentarily. Malalulu couldn't quite stretch to get there. It comes for Brown. All the loose balls picked up by those in black and white at the moment.
Yeah, the momentum definitely shifted towards Gungahlin.
Riley Brown, quietly effective again in the middle of the park. Switch for Dodario. It's away from Souza.
Fell.
Yeah, he slipped, didn't he? There are a couple of players that slipped in the shadows below us here. Max Green, one of them, a little earlier before he departed. Troikovsky. Brown. Under pressure from Sparrow. And he took too long, and Daniel Sparrow's robbed him. Often running. Burns has gone across, Troikovsky's gone across, and between them they've got it done.
Yeah, Riley Brown just dwelled on it a little bit too long, and Sparrow's not one to look for a second invitation.
Well, even with 10 men, you would not write them off here, would you, Canberra Croatia?
I'm starting to inch that way, though. Starting to think this might be Gungahlin today. So that means Croatia are about to score.
They are the masters of a late goal as well, aren't they? And they've still got 20 minutes or so to play here. Lespedas loses out. James. Back for Subasic. 25 to play. Subasic's ball is picked off, and that's not a good one either. Head in hand moment for Thomas Robertson.
Yeah, just got a bit excited.
James, I think that's a heck of a ball over the top for Vucicic, and Mumford's come. Did he get a piece of Vucicic? Oh. Bruno Kell has waved it away, I think, and said it was, believe the collision.
Well, there was definitely contact. Who initiated the contact, or whether it was,
I think, purely accidental.
Yeah, probably. But still, it may have been a free kick, even accidental.
Good ball from James, wasn't it?
Yeah, great ball. Great ball.
Over the top.
60 metre there.
It's Kimura. Have to get the gloves on, Steve. The temperature's dropping a little. Aidan Mumford and Robertson. Daniel Sparrow scored 7 NPL goals this season alone. He'd netted just 9 in the entirety of his career before this year. He's searching out another one.
Well, he needs another one if they're going to get level. He's certainly an avenue to get him a point.
Spaseski, Colbertaldo.
But they're under pressure.
Yoshida Shoki's won it. And that was unlucky. Came off Lespenas's heel. Still managed to step away. Malalulu. Kimura. Takes on Souza, who wants a goal kick, but it's going to be a corner. Riley Souza having a chat. Corner kick then, and a chance for Gungahlin.
Malalulu made a big difference, dropping a little bit deeper, playing more of a midfield role. The Japanese pairing of Shoki and Kimura been excellent, but the French boy stole the show.
Yeah, AJ Malalulu has had a really good second half.
Yeah, yes.
Mind you, they all have in Gungahlin colours, which is why they lead. Shoki with the corner kick. Has it back from Daddario. Not a bad ball in. Bailey got a touch. And that wasn't far away from 4.
I'll tell you what, that was statuesque defending from Canberra Croatia. I mean, once that run was made across them, nobody at all tracked it.
Canberra Croatia have a great record against most teams in the league, as I mentioned, Steve. We mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Gunners have won 5 of 11 games here. Croatia have won 4. There's been 2 draws. Sometimes some teams just have the bogey on you, don't they?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's
There's no rhyme or reason.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I mean, it's not anything to do with form. It's got no logic to it, but it happens. I mean, it used to be that we would talk about Olympic coming here and doing well. Yeah. You know, not that long ago, Tuggeranong had a good record against.
Well, Lespinas, the flag stays down, and the Frenchman's in on goal for a hat-trick. It's Loic Lespinas, and he takes it beautifully. And Gungahlin United have 4 at Deakin Stadium, and it's Viva la France. Loic Lespinas once again.
Yes, well, talk about stealing the show. That is absolutely brilliant. A fantastic finish. He's finished one with his right foot, pinged it in from the free kick.
And he's finished that one with some aplomb.
Yeah. And some of the Canberra Croatia crowd just getting a little bit overly aggressive down here.
Sensational finish. Once he opened the body up, he was never going to miss it, was he? And Canberra Croatia staring down the barrel of a first defeat of the season at home. Staring down the barrel of a second defeat of the season in all competitions. In the league, rather.
Some will say it's probably been coming because they haven't been at their best in the last few weeks. But at 2-0 up, they really should have put this game to bed. The send-off obviously makes a difference. The enforced changes through injury. But let's not take anything away from this Gungahlin side. They've come out on fire in the second half. They've scored 4 goals in 25, and there may be a chance here for a 4th.
It's Lespinas again, put in by Shoki. And they're retreating. And here's Shoki down under the challenge. No penalty.
No way.
Not given.
Well,
and it looks a stonewaller.
Well, he's either got to book him for diving or give the penalty. You can't have it both ways, I'm afraid.
I told you there was plenty to talk about when these two meet, Steve.
You were 100% correct.
Just amongst all of that, before Loic Lespinas scored his hat-trick goal, and a wonderful hat-trick goal it was, what a pass from Thomas Robertson to get him in over the back.
Yeah, yeah. Only, I mean, I think Canberra Croatia were looking for the offside flag, but it was never going up.
The bench being emptied by Dina Grinic.
Yeah, it might be a bit late, I'm afraid, Dean.
Not in the script, this one. In the week they learned of their cup opponents. Not gone their way. If you have tuned in, that score in the top corner is correct. Nicky Subasic for Daniel Colbertaldo is the first change. And Nick Pradagina is coming on. For who? For who? Well, that's interesting. I think it's Riley Souza. Yep, gone off to our right.
Yeah, Daniel Colbertaldo, not a happy chap at all. Sent the water bottles flying.
It's not been their day, has it?
Nope.
I mean, since the send-off. At 2-0 at half-time, though, even with 10 men, you thought, well...
Yeah, they were at the bottom of it. But
80 minutes to go. Honestly, I'm still not prepared to write them off totally. However, the Gungahlin look like they might add to their tally as well. Your boy up front, the Frenchman, is in sensational form at the moment.
It's been a great hat-trick. That's one of the better hat-tricks we've seen, certainly at this venue. And we've seen a few here.
You know, sometimes you see players get in on goal and you think, are they going to finish? There was never any doubt there when he was in for a third.
He knew exactly what he was going to do. Exactly what he was going to do.
and it was top class. And Gungahlin United, well, they are certainly upsetting the apple cart this afternoon.
Nobody would have picked this result, I'm telling you now.
This is a Canberra Croatia side, and again, mitigating circumstances, that have conceded 8 goals in the league in 11 games.
Yeah.
They've conceded 50% of that tally in 60 minutes, or it was 70 minutes today.
Well, even less than that when you think that it was nil. They hadn't
Well,
scored
yeah,
before
true.
or after.
Yeah.
So it's
21 minutes,
yeah.
4-goal blitz.
Incredible. Incredible. What a great watch it turned out to be. If it didn't fire up in the first half, the sending off sort of just... I mean, you were suggesting, weren't you, that it might just wake them up?
Well, it did wake up Gungahlin as well. The 2 goals woke up Gungahlin.
Yeah.
We've still got quarter of an hour to play.
Yeah, this could still finish 8-6.
Or 4-all.
Or 4-all.
Just we'd love to bring you some news around the world as well, and I'll tell you in a moment. Here's Malalulu. Shocky. He got there first. But
It's a bit unlucky, wasn't it?
congratulations to England's under-21s.
They won it, did they?
Back-to-back Euros. Beat Germany this morning, 3-2 after extra time.
2-0 up at once.
2-0 up, got back to 2-2, and then beat the Germans in extra time. Sounds like the 1966 World Cup final, doesn't it?
It does. Almost the same score.
Almost. Yeah, congratulations to them.
Yeah, done well.
British Lions tour got underway yesterday. Bit of egg chasing. Unsurprisingly, the combined might of 4 countries did beat Western Force. Pradeshina finds Vucetic. Here's Daniel Sparrow, angles tight, and he's forced to save from Mumford. Might come out for Pradeshina. Talk about rugby union. There's a challenge from Pradeshina.
The referee's gone home. He's decided that he's not making any more decisions.
Got a bishop wide. Austrian Grand Prix this weekend as well, Steve, just to keep up with all the sport from around the world. No, you love that kind of thing. Some cars go around in circles.
Yep. Could not think of anything worse.
Well, I mean, I've spent 15 minutes watching a line marker go up and down the line here. A robot line marker, and, you know.
I'd rather watch that. I'd rather have an emergency appendectomy.
You'd rather watch Leeds. That's how bad it is.
Of course.
Here's Vucetic. Now Pradeshina's got some space. He's got Robertson coming across with him. Done well then, Nick Pradeshina, to ride the first couple of challenges. Thomas James. Heavy first touch. Better second touch. Goes down under the challenge. And no penalty at that end either.
No, I don't think that was. I think he was already on his way down that. And I think Bruno might have got that right. It might have been a free kick. The first defender that was close to Thomas James, but certainly not the second one. I'm giving the referee the benefit of the doubt there.
But he stayed down, hasn't he, Thomas James?
Yeah.
Nick Trajkowski needs a bit of treatment for some cramp. Meantime, I think AJ Malalulu is going to make his way off. What a great debut this has been from the young boy, and I think we'll see plenty more of him too.
Certainly, I thought in the first half he had some nice touches without being overly involved in the game. Second half, he's made a big difference, playing in that slightly withdrawn role. His distribution's been good.
Be very proud. His mum and dad were in the crowd over there watching on, and very happy. And they were the one that tried to teach me how to say Malalulu.
Excellent.
So hopefully we got it okay for them, or close enough.
Well, you've gone to the horse's mouth. You're not going to get better advice than that.
William McCloskey is the replacement. And he's going to have, 12 and a half minutes at Deakin Stadium. Mumford to send it long. Looking for McCloskey, couldn't give him his first touch. Vucetic spins away, Pradeshina. Pradeshina was a bit high on Riley Brown. I think the free kick might be the first one, though.
They're just losing their heads a little bit, aren't they? I mean, the free kick that was given away when they made it 2-2 was an unnecessary free kick, and a little bit of that niggle's just crept into the game since then as well. Little issues off the ball that the camera probably won't pick up, but there's just a little bit of ill discipline crept into the game.
Well, they found a way to beat Canberra Croatia to stop the juggernaut. Play against 10.
Play,
yeah. for 55 minutes or so of the contest. It's worth saying, though, that even though it is 10, and people say it was 10, it was 2-0 at half-time. And they still have plenty to do. That's nice from Nicky Subasic. Here's Prarajina. Chance for him to have a go, perhaps. Daddario comes across, corner kick. So it's not been good put on a plate for them, Steve.
No, they've had to earn it, that's for sure. I mean, I don't think that Canberra Croatia came out of the second half with enough intensity. They 2-0 up, thinking that we could just cruise till the end and would just win this game. And it just hasn't proved to be the case. And that's full credit to Gungahlin, who've come out and scored 4 really good goals.
Well, they needed an early one, didn't they? And they got one, and since then, they've been flying. And here's Lespenas flying. Berbic has come across, needed to make it.
And did.
And he committed to it as well, didn't he? He absolutely committed to it. Good job he got the ball as well.
Oh, that might have been down to 9.
Otherwise, the Frenchman was in the park behind us, I think. Playing on the swings.
Well, he certainly swung this game.
Yeah, in favour of the Gungahlin United.
Yeah.
League champions, finding some champions form. It's deserted them for most of the year.
Yeah, and the league champions-elect have just been brought back down to earth a bit.
Here's McCloskey.
That's a great ball.
Kimura and almost for Lespenas. So Tigers come here next week. Sense in blood, baby.
Yeah, big game.
Looking forward to that one. You can watch that one 3 o'clock on Saturday or Sunday afternoon. Sparrow putting the effort in, and he's won it. Oh, and he's lucky there, Nikola Trajkovski.
He was. Got a touch of the... he looks a bit like Nathan Magic, don't you think?
Trajkovski?
Yeah.
Former O'Connor Knight himself, Nikola Trajkovski, Queanbeyan City player as well.
Yeah.
More used to seeing him play in midfield. Matty Gerbischer will get a free kick. He's more used to playing in midfield, Nikola Trajkovski, but he's filling in here.
And he's done a really good job. Really good. I mean, I know they've conceded 2 and they got themselves behind the 8 ball, but one of them was a terrific free kick. And one came as a result of Daniel Colbertaldo magic and a little pass that put Green away.
Well, even when they went 2-0 up with 10 men, we thought, well, maybe this is done.
Yeah.
But nothing doing. James whips it towards that far post. Subasic climbs highest. It's loose in front for Ryan Keir, and it's an own goal. I think it's gone in off Riley Brown. And there's hope for Canberra Croatia. The 10 men back in the game.
What a game this is. What a game. Now then, do we get the nervous finish from Gungahlin? Because under the red press, lots of teams have broken.
8 minutes to go.
More than enough time. More than enough
4
time.
goals to 3. I'm going to have to check the replay to see, Steve, who actually scored that. But I got a feeling that Riley Brown stuck it in his own net.
It looked like an own goal, but I can't help you out. I don't know
Here
who
you go.
got it.
We're going to have a look here on this replay. Yeah, it's come off Riley Brown.
Yeah.
Well then, what a chance for the home team. What a chance for my favourite scoreline.
Yeah, you're on.
I'm on. We have got a match here. 7-goal thriller. Canberra Croatia back in it. 8 minutes, as you said, Steve, is plenty of time to go. Plenty of time to go. Kuma Tigers, or Tigers FC as they are now 2-0 up at Deakin.
He's onside.
Sparrow's onside, and he's away from Trajkovski. It's Sparrow for Thomas James. He sent him too far wide. There's still the chance for Thomas James to deliver it in. And what a header. I thought Subasic was coming in.
Great defending, and Canberra Croatia are not out of this.
We got the seal of approval from the parents, from AJ's parents, said we said the surname perfectly.
Excellent.
We're all over this. Canberra Croatia all over Gungahlin at the moment, trying to seek an equalising goal that didn't look like on the cards. Gudabisha up towards Vucetic. Might come here for Sparrow.
Oh dear, that was the chance,
Well, it
wasn't
was a chance. And when he was lining it up, you expected the form he's in for that to go in the top corner.
Very, very nervous now, Gungahlin. I mean, 11 against 10, goal up with a few minutes to go. You'd think you'd be able to see this out, but this is an inexperienced lineup. This is a very, very new setup for them, and they're not used to being in this position. And you're doing it, or trying to do it, against a rampaging Reds. And even with 10 men, they're capable. They're capable of getting more than one.
Much time ago, Steve, I said you could write a book on this game. There's another chapter right here, isn't there?
Absolutely.
This one particularly, this battle between these two teams, it always brings up something. And like I said, it was soporific for a while in the first half, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't great. But it's the never-ending story. This chapter after chapter is written every time they meet.
And it's great to watch as well.
The second half's been brilliant. From a neutral point of view, you couldn't have asked for much more. But maybe it needed that send-off to sort of get Gungahlin back in the game.
Prodagina, Ryan Keir, hoiks one forward and asks Sparrow to chase. That's a mark from Aidan Mumford.
Should be in the Lions team next year.
He slips as he delivers, but finds Daddario, who went for something rather extravagant. Yeah. Probably should have just
control it and play properly.
There. I said do not write off Canberra Croatia.
You did.
You can't, can you?
No.
Even with 10 men. Daddario has another save for Lespinas. Daddario doesn't want too many more saves. Lespinas been a bit greedy otherwise, isn't it? With a hat-trick and an assist.
If I'm Gungahlin, I'm giving it to him or Shockey. I just say get on that ball, son.
I wonder what his thought process was this morning. Wouldn't know an awful lot about Canberra Croatia. Wouldn't have thought of this venue. Gone up there to play.
I'm sure his teammates would have filled him in. But he just looks the sort of player that goes, I don't care who you are.
Absolutely. The swagger from France, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
It's the je ne sais quoi. Is that right?
Ooh. I didn't know you spoke French.
Oh, look, absolutely fluent in some things.
Rubbish.
Vucetic. Having to go around the outside. I did spend a fair bit in commentary with Jeremy McGann for a while.
You did, yeah. That's where you've picked it up from.
Absolutely. Thomas James is now playing as a...
I wonder why.
Whatever he's playing as.
Yeah.
As a right back, right midfield.
I mean, surely they want him higher up the pitch.
Well, maybe it's his delivery they're looking for. Gudabisha's giving it away. Kimura, that's offside. That's Lespinas. He needed it earlier.
Yeah.
And Lespinas wanted it earlier.
Yeah.
That was a bit silly from Matt Gerbisher. No need for it, was there?
Why doesn't he do something about that?
And they're still having a word. Subasic. That's Nicky Subasic. Still fire it across. Ayuma Kimura doesn't look to me the kind of player that doesn't even get involved in that kind of thing. Every game I've played so far, he's had a smile on his face. Here's Daniel Subasic. Nicky Subasic. 3 minutes to play. Throwing the sink at it. Vucetic. To swing it back. Sparrow got a challenge in on it. Here's Lespinas. Kimura. The Shockey rather with Gudabisha. It will be a Croatia ball. Strap yourself in for this final 3 minutes or so.
Yeah, 3 minutes plus injury time.
Daniel Subasic. Nicky Subasic. Lespinas to challenge. Ryan Keir. Gudabisha. Finds Spaseski. 4 up ahead of him. James against Burns.
Yeah, this is where they want it.
Thomas James.
Can he deliver?
To swing it to the far post. Nicky Subasic was there. It's not the best header, but it was a late challenge on Thomas James. We'll come back for a free kick in a really presentable position.
This is Thomas James territory, this. I mean, it was a poor header front with some Subasic after a decent ball in, but it's been dragged back for the free kick.
2-minute warning on regulation time. Thomas James started the fun with a free kick.
Yeah, can he bring them back into the game? Certainly, if you wanted somebody to pull you out of the mire, this is the guy that can do it.
It's Thomas James. We've seen late goals this weekend. O'Connor Knight scored in the 6th minute stoppage time. Monero Panthers scored in the 4th minute stoppage time.
Actually, Monero Panthers did it a couple of weeks ago, didn't they? Against, was it Tigers at the AOS? When Kachenko got a late equaliser or winner?
Daniel Kobatalov scored that 90th minute winner at Strider Park from a free kick. Thomas James is setting it up.
There's going to be some pressure on this goalkeeper in a minute.
As he takes this, we will tick over into the 90th minute of a football match. Or the 89th, into the final minute. It's James who whips it in, and Thomas James pulls it out of the fire for the 10 men. He's on target again, and it's 4-4 at Deakin Stadium. Incredible scenes.
Yeah. Russell Gibbs' his favourite score. Thomas James, take a bow. Chapeau, my man. That's 2 great free kicks. I think Mumford will be a little bit disappointed with that one. He's either set the wall up without sort of covering that near post, or he's been too far to his right and he can't get there. But take nothing away from Thomas James. He's had 2 opportunities to score from free kicks and he's taken them both.
When they needed a moment, they've turned to their main man, and he has provided again. And Thomas James has made it 4-4, and the 10 men are seeking a winner.
That's a red card.
Bailey's brought down Sparrow. Pradajina and Sparrow both having a word. I think he might be in trouble here, Angus Bailey.
Yeah, I think he is. He was last man. Whether it was a goal-scoring opportunity, because he was a long way towards the edge of the box, but that was just, well, another wonderful ball from Thomas James. That's what it was. And then onto the back pocket.
What colour will it be for Angus Bailey? It's a yellow.
Jesus.
Might have got away with it because there was someone covering. I think Nikola Trajkovski went off during the celebrations for that goal. They made a change. I'm trying to see who it is that's come on, though, at the moment. We'll be able to tell you. I think it's Deacon Palombi who's come on for Nikola Trajkovski. He is stood out of the edge of the box, marking Nicholas Pradajina at the moment.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Deacon Palombi. On for the 5th time this season for stoppage time. We're in it for stoppage time. They couldn't, could they?
Yes, they could.
A minute into the added time, of which we're not sure how much there will be. Thomas James over another set piece.
A Ryan Keogh winner. What's the end? What's the chances?
James will take it. There's a lot of noise about the wall and where it is. I don't think the wall is actually the issue here, because the ball's going to be whipped in over it.
Yeah, I know, but he's trying to give himself enough space between the ball and the wall to get it up and down.
Daniel Sparrow, Pradajina.
He's counted this wall out about 4 times so far, and he's moved it every time.
Spaseski's in there, Kier's in there, the Subasic brothers are in there. Thomas James to deliver. Wicked ball in, and that's a really good header by Robertson. It needed to be. Now then, Kimura couldn't find Lespinas. Gudabisha pops it back for Nicky Subasic, who fires it across, and it's turned away by Angus Bailey.
Yeah, it's all red at the moment. You would think that Gungahlin were down to 10, even less. But the red machine is in full swing.
We're going to get 5 minutes of stoppage time, of which we've played 2 and a bit. Another corner kick. Vucetic into the danger zone. Cleared only as far as Thomas James, who's lofted it back. Rankier's offside. Flag goes up. So we've got 2.5 minutes. Still more of this fun to come. Canberra Croatia 4, Gungahlin United 4.
Brilliant entertainment.
The NPL never fails to deliver, does it? Here's Charlie Daddario. Can Gungahlin win it? What a pass that is. Lespinas for Gunners to win it. He may well have done so. He's got 4. Gungahlin United have 5. It is quite unbelievable. And the Gunners might be on their way to an epic triumph.
Unbelievable. I mean, I can understand Canberra Croatia pushing to try and get a winner, but to leave themselves so exposed at the back was almost negligent. And this French boy, he will be the talk of Gungahlin for quite some time. This has been quite some display.
A sensational conclusion. Croatia thought they got themselves a point. Gunners might have nicked all three again. James, forward to Vucetic.
It's a nothing touch.
We've got 90 seconds. James has taken it from a mile away from where it is. We've got two balls on the pitch here as well. Here's James to lift it forward towards Kia, and it's flicked on by Subasic.
I tell you what, he should have done better too. Should have a lovely ball in from Thomas James. But now, surely to goodness, the 11 men of Gungahlin are going to manage the last couple of minutes.
It's been an epic afternoon here at Deakin Stadium. Thumped forward by Burns. Maybe one final roll of the dice for the 10 men. Into the final 40-odd seconds. Niki Subasic. Kimura busting a gut to get back to him. Pradajina. Good toe-in from Robertson. Matty Gerbshaw, we sliced it. 50-cent head that one, wasn't it?
It was.
Here's Spaseski.
Didn't go anywhere near where he wanted it to.
Lespanas is down. I don't think they're going to put it out of play for him, unfortunately.
I think this is a bit of time wasting.
Bruno Kell will no doubt stop the watch for this anyway. We will go over the 5 minutes. He has done. He's not going to let it. Not going to let this tick away the seconds.
He has stopped his watch, but
no, the funny thing is, he's not going to go off for treatment, is he, the Frenchman? Because he doesn't want to be down to 10. So incredible.
What a game, Russ! What a game this has been. Second half has been. If the first half was a little bit dry and a little bit lacking any sort of real sort of drama apart from the send-off, the second half has made up for it.
Been incredible, hasn't it? Here's Gudabisha. Might not be all over yet. Riley Brown's hooked this one towards us. How's your touch?
Oh,
kids below us didn't fancy it.
They were scattered. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think Daniel Sparrow's in trouble. No, maybe not. Maybe he didn't see it, but he's off the ball. We're
going to get a change. Yoshida Shoki will come off because he is the furthest one further away after jogging halfway through.
Yeah. I mean, the tactic when you're thinking about that is going to send on the centre circle, the centre spot.
Hamish Moyle is going to come on here for Gungahlin United, a young defender.
No relation to Nick Moyle?
I have no idea.
Belconnen United technical director?
He's dropped himself in to do some defensive work. Canberra Croatia might have one more shunt forward from Thomas James.
What's he doing back here?
Launching one towards Daniel Subasic, who's got past one, can't get past Burns.
Daniel Subasic playing as a flying right winger and Thomas James playing as a left back.
It's thrown in towards Niki Subasic in the box. Daniel Subasic to deliver it. Ryan Keir's in there. Mumford's got a hand on it. Comes out for James. Canberra Croatia not going away. We still go.
God. I mean, it's
7 minutes of added time have been added on.
Where's he found this?
Because of the goal, I think, and the time wasting maybe. Here's Subasic into the area. Nodded away, and it will be a free kick Gungahlin. A pressure relieving free kick for Gungahlin. Maybe a 3 points winning free kick for Gungahlin.
Yeah, what a 3 points this is for them as well. How desperately they needed this, and they've fought tooth and nail to come out on top in a 9-goal thriller.
Gungahlin United have come to the home of the league leaders, and they've gone away with an epic 5-4 win. Loic Lespanas, c'est magnifique from the French striker. 4 goals and an assist from him, Steve Forture. We can't really wrap that up in about a minute, but goodness me, what an afternoon's entertainment.
Glad I was here to see it because that was an absolute thriller. 4 goals from the Frenchmen. The Japanese have played their part. The Red Machine has been brought to a grinding halt. And like you've said previously, they can afford a couple of slip-ups. But That will be a body blow. And full credit to Gungahlin, who at 2-0 down, even against 10 men, might have thrown the towel in, but didn't. They came out full of fire and vim and vigour in the second half and have scored some wonderful goals. We've been treated here today to a real thriller, a real epic. Fantastic game of football. If they were all like this, we'd be coming every week, no doubt about it.
Thanks, Steve Forshaw, for your assistance this afternoon. Thanks, Justin Kapowski on camera, for bringing it to life and everyone at home. At half-time, Canberra Croatia led 2-0. Thomas James and Max Green had scored, but they were down to 10 men. Nikola Jadric had been sent off. The second half, well, it was an incredible turnaround. Loic Lespanas with 2. Yoshida Shoki put them in front at 3-2. Lespanas' hat-trick made it 4. We thought it was all over. We should have known better. Canberra Croatia hit back an own goal from Riley Brown and a Thomas James free kick in the 90th minute. Well, it's 4-4 and we'll go home with a share of the points. No, we won't, because 3 minutes later, Loic Lespanas gets his 4th of the game and Canberra Croatia are beaten at home. It's finished Canberra Croatia 4, Gungahlin United 5.